This isn't just any old photograph. This ambrotype holds the story of pioneer photographer Platt D. Babbitt. In his work, he created an entirely new industry. He turned the American side of Niagara Falls into his own personal empire, was ruthless in defending his gold mine of a territory, and whose own ending was as dramatic as the falls themselves. Born May 22, 1822, to a farming family in Lanesboro, Massachusetts, nothing about his rural childhood hinted at his future. But by the 1850s, this farm boy had seized the most profitable location in American tourism, Niagara Falls. Just think about time before the invention of photography. Every traveler relied on memory, maybe a detailed story, and for some, a rough sketch or painting to remember their journeys. And even during Babbitt's era, the idea of taking a camera with you was nearly impossible, as the equipment, chemicals, and knowledge to do so was not easily attainable. But his entrepreneurship and innovative ideas clearly solved this problem, and he decided to set up his tent with photography equipment positioned permanently at Horseshoe Falls. And from 1853 onward, he would capture every tourist who viewed the falls, selling them perfect evidence and memorabilia of their experience and adventure. And in addition to his work, what made Babbitt legendary was his fierce determination to protect his position. Observers have written that when other photographers tried to copycat in his place at Niagara, he and associates would use large umbrellas, ultimately blocking the shots the rookies tried to get. He also created one of the earliest forms of photojournalism by capturing the drowning of James Avery in 1853. Avery and his friends were boating in the river above the falls when a current capsized their boat. 2 of the men had died, while Avery for 18 hours held on to a log pinned by large rocks. And while a series of failed rescue attempts were made, Avery succumbed to the river and died. And it became one of Babbitt's most notable photographs of Avery clinging on to the log for dear life. Ultimately, it was declining health that drove Babbitt into retirement in 1870. And soon he would just abandon photography entirely. And although there was no formal diagnosis of his illness, it wasn't physical, but it was likely that he was suffering from what we would now recognize as clinical depression. And on the morning of August 21st, 1879, the Niagara Falls Gazette reported that Babbitt had taken his own life by drowning himself at South Wales, New York, in Erie County, New York. Something he had deliberately planned and was heartbreakingly methodical. His wife found his hat on top of driftwood in the Casanova Creek, and then later his body. Holding on to something that Babbitt physically created and touched 170 years ago is a profound feeling of connection. It feels somewhat like an intimate bridge across time to his lived experience. I wish he could see how we truly value his work today, and how in such a raw format he captured the authenticity and magic of Niagara Falls, and of its visitors absorbing its powerful presence.